Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Macon-Bibb County City Hall and Chambers. Today is Tuesday, August the 26th, and the time is approximately 9 o'clock. This is Macon-Bibb County Commission special call meeting, so we're limited to the items on the agenda today. But as I mentioned last week, because we are doing a very rapid road paving projects, we may come on more occasions to do call meetings as we get these bids that come in to get awarded, because every week or two is very important, especially when we're dealing with trying to get a lot of these roads done before the winter break. So I'd like to officially welcome everyone here this morning, call this meeting to order. And we added a couple other items on there while we're doing work to kind of lighten the load for our September 2nd meeting that we'll have next Tuesday. So we'll begin with the appointments to authorities, boards, and committees. We do have an opening to serve on the retirement committee for the Macon Pensions and Retirement Systems Division A plan, and we have a recommendation there of Ms. Jamie Gaudet. Ms. Gaudet, I think everybody is familiar with her. There's her picture there. She served our community well, and she is currently working as well, but she qualifies for this position. She was recommended, and I'd like to recommend that to you. So at this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the recommendation. Motion by Commissioner Stewart, second by Commissioner Wynn. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. We'll move on to item 3A, which is a new alcohol beverage license. This is a reconsideration of alcohol license application for Danish 2353 LLC, doing business as USA Grocery, located at 2353 Ingleside Avenue, to the agenda. They were recommended for denial for a vice mark. However, they obtained the fresh food required for them to be considered a food mart, and they have maintained that food from multiple inspections by our code enforcement. Now, at this time, legal does recommend approval. So at this time, I entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Wynn. Do we have a second? Is that second by Commissioner Hewlett? And we have a motion and a second. Commissioner Howard, did you have a question, sir?
I do. In that picture, I see gas pumps. Is that a gas station, or the pumps don't work? Or
That's it. I'll let the attorney answer that question before I speak. At the gas station, it wouldn't matter, but since
Commissioner Howell, the gas station was operating. It had stopped operating when they did the first inspection, so they didn't qualify as a gas station anymore. That's why we treated them as a Vice Mart. They are still actively working on getting those pumps up and running, but in the meantime have acquired the fresh food to be considered a food mart.
okay?
So the gas station only has something to do with staying open past 11 o'clock, so they can continue to operate as a food mart, just can't stay open past 11 o'clock until they have the gas station there.
Yeah, but if the pumps were working in a gas station,
They would qualify otherwise.
right? Okay.
Yep.
All right. I just wondered because I saw them in the picture.
Thank you. Commissioner Stewart, do you have a question?
I do. When you say they've acquired, the proper things to be not a Vice Mart, I've gone to some of these places and I realize they just go and buy a few bananas and oranges, mangy as they may be, and put them up there on the counter and say, okay, we're now selling food. Is this the situation with this, or are they really actually, have they changed their ways, so to speak?
We've had code enforcement go and do multiple inspections, and they've had the fresh food required to be a food mart on multiple occasions at this point.
Thank you.
Yeah, and keep in mind also that these inspections are unannounced, and we show up on a random basis and do that, not only on this food mart, but on multiple food marts. And anytime we see expired meat, not having the proper quantity there or quality there, we bring that before to look at revoking their license. But so this time we do have a motion and second. Is that correct? All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay.
Nay.
That motion, was it 1? 3? Okay. And we have 7? Okay. Motion carries. We'll move on to grants. Item 4A, we have one item under grants. This is a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to accept the fiscal 2025 Road Assistance Administration, the LRA funds, in the amount of $2,926,055.13 with no local match required. This is to fund the roads that we're about to award. So at this time, we'd entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Wilder, second by Commissioner Bailey. Any questions? Hearing no questions, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. We have three agreements today under item 5. 5A is a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission to authorize the mayor to execute an independent contractor agreement with Professional Paving Services, LLC, for asphalt paving and resurfacing services in an amount of $1,985,581.70 to be paid from the 2024 LRA LMIG supplemental grant forms. This time we entertain a motion to approve the contractor. Motion by Commissioner Wilder. We have a second. Second by Commissioner Wynn. Commissioner Stewart, you had a question?
Yes, sir. I'm not requesting that this be listed per se, but I do want to know going forward the faces behind the companies, who is the listed agent with the Secretary of State, things of that nature to make sure there's no, I just want to make sure going forward. So I'm not asking that be listed, but I am going to be requesting behind the scenes the names from the Secretary of State's office.
I think those are, the business license and all that's posted online. If
Okay.
not, it's for everybody to see. Commissioner Bryant, you have a question?
Do we have time to kind of explain how do the vendors get these contracts to do the paving?
Sure. Have one of the lawyers come up. This particular case I know is a low bid, which means they were the lowest bidder, but she can tell you a little bit more about how we advertise the process, where it's posted at, and what the law requires.
Absolutely. Good morning, Commissioners. So for roads projects, state law requires that it be posted for 30 days as an invitation for bid. So this project was posted on our procurement department's website, as well as the Georgia Procurement Registry on July 22nd, 2025. And then this bid was opened on August 21st, 2025. So it was open last Thursday, and we received 10 responses. This was the lowest bidder, and we've worked with them before, so they were deemed responsible for this. So that is how this vendor was selected. We're opening more, as more bids come in, those are posted, they're posted for the 30 days. We have a public advertised bid opening where the bid amounts are read out, and then the vendor and the low bids are referred to the using department to make sure that they actually meet the technical specifications.
That is your question? You have further follow-up?
So for the people, the community, do they need to go get a vendor license? I mean, for the people that maybe a low company or small business that's not familiar with the process, do they need to go through the city and get a business license and then register with the Secretary of State? What do they need to do to even consider before they get to that part?
So for business licenses, there are different requirements. There are certain groups of people that may be exempted. I believe people who were wounded in the military, people who have significant vision issues. Those groups, I believe, may be exempted from certain business licenses. To be a vendor for Macon-Bibb County, when you are submitting for a bid package, one of the attachments is our vendor setup forms that will be completed and submitted with that bid. Small businesses would want to contact our small business office and Ms. Sharice Stevens, and she'll be able to walk them through the process for individual bids, proposals, or quoting processes.
Thank you.
All right. We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. As we mentioned also last meeting, we have two others that are set to expire this Thursday, so we'll be awarding two more, or at least reviewing two more, and make recommendations for next Tuesday for the final two in that initial 36-mile road paving that we're doing. So by next Tuesday, we'll have 4 contracts out to bid. Also, just so you know, we are 10 vendors is probably the most we've ever had, so we're doing a good job for small business and otherwise advertising these to get them out. They do have time limits to complete these projects, so I think it's 150 days, if I'm correct. 150 days they have to complete the project, so you don't allow someone to get too many projects that they can't do so, because once they go over that time, there's a penalty per day. So we're making sure we're keeping up to make sure we have a fair process, make sure we get the best value for our dollars. And we can see, just based on the regional bids that we have here in the last couple of times, we've seen the price per road go down And I think that's because we have so many people interested in doing the work. So I appreciate you doing that, and I look forward to next Tuesday. Commissioner Wynn, do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, just to follow up that, what, do they get assigned roads or a certain length of miles that they have to pave?
So,
And that certain length of time that they're required to do?
So once the bid is posted for 30 days pursuant to Georgia law, you can go onto our procurement site at maconbibb.us under bid on projects. Under that, you'll see a list there that says the project, and it'll have every single road or segment of the road. These are your LMIGs, your LRO roads, so most of those roads are portions of roads that we go from intersection to intersection. So they'll know exactly the roads that they have to pay when they bid on those roads. That process goes through Macon-Bibb County with our engineers, Macon Water Authority, and the state all have to sign off on that because you have to know where all the utilities and where all the sewers and then things like that are at. Then it comes back before a commission to vote on the person to be appropriated. Once that happens, there's a couple more things that the lawyers have to do with a contract with them, and then they start paying within 10 days of that, and they have 150 days to complete.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're going to move on to the next item, which is a resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute a month-to-month parking license agreement with Coliseum Medical Center LLC for the use of 425 parking spaces located at 200 Coliseum Drive, which is at the Coliseum Complex, at a rental rate of $8,101.80 per month. This is a lease that we'll have there at the Coliseum. And at this time, I entertain a motion to approve. Yes, sir, I'll get that. I'll have a motion. Can I get a second? Second by Commissioner Bailey. And Commissioner Stewart, get a question.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out, first of all, this is in my district, and that's a great rate. It's about $20 a month per parking space, I think it is. But why just $425? Is that all they offered, all we could afford, or what is it? What's the reason for $425?
This is them paying us.
Okay.
So we're not paying them. We have space over there near the back corner where the chamber used to be that we've leased out to the Coliseum on a year-by-year basis with a renewal. Because of the potential arena project there, we decided to put them on notice that we would go month to month in case there was something came up where the time overlapped. So we'll be in discussion with Piedmont there, and we agreed to do a month-by-month basis, and we'll give them significant time if we choose to use that property. So that's a negotiated amount based on the yearly contract we have with them. Commissioner Bryant?
My question is, what are we using the 425 parking spaces for? I understand employees, but like, is there not enough parking? So I just want to know so that everybody else knows.
So we're not using any of them. We have extra space there. Piedmont Hospital, Coliseum, former Coliseum Medical Center, rent space from us to use the parking because they don't have enough parking on their own property there. So they've had a relationship for several years with Bibb County where they pay us X amount of dollars per year, and it's renewed every year for at least a year basis. I sent them a letter this year telling them that we're terminating the yearly lease because we need to go to month, because there may come a point in time where we decide to put an arena right there where these parking is, and we didn't want to be locked down, or some kind of work that need to be done there. So they're paying us for this space, presumably for their employees or overflow parking that they have there. And it's a good rate, but it's also, it's $8,000 a month we didn't have coming in for property we're not using right now. Okay? We do have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Hearing no questions, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries to be sent anywhere. A resolution of the Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the mayor to execute an independent contractor agreement with Turner Construction Management, LLC, for renovations to the Grand Opera House in the amount of $641,100 to be paid from the 2008 SPLOST Fund, Cultural and Recreation Grand Opera House. This is a project that was approved under the last SPLOST. I think this is the final installment that we have on funds over there at the Opera House. Commissioner Wynn, you have a question?
Sir, I think we talked about this before, but what are these renovations going to be over there?
We have, but I'll let Ms. Beavers remind you.
Yeah, thank you.
Meanwhile, let me go ahead and I'll make a motion to approve. Do we get a second? Second by Mayor Pro Tem Clark, and now Ms. Beavers.
These renovations will be for plumbing and electrical work throughout the facility, as well as remodels of the dressing room and the green room, where you get prep for your shows, and then repair of the original doors along the exterior of the building, so that those are more secure and still in keeping with the visual aspects.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. You got a question, Ms. Bryant? Go ahead.
Just to follow up with what Commissioner Wynn said. I know that, it was like July of last year. Are these the same funds that were allocated for some of the work, or these are different funds that are allocated for more work than what they were doing?
We allocated a certain amount of funds out of the SPOS, a total amount, and every time the project comes before us, we appropriate part of that same money. Does that answer your question?
Not really.
Okay, we'll ask it a different way and I'll answer it.
Okay. So what were we doing with the funds last time? The funds when they asked for it last time for the renovations at the Grand Opera House?
So in the very beginning, they had a large list of items, included some things, the back of the house, the backdrop, new seating there, electrical, plumbing, and they have a total amount of dollars, okay? So far, we've got a certain amount of dollars approved in the 2018 SPOS for the Opera House project. As they do these additions or remodels, they will bring forth the project within that same budget, and we will send that out to bid, and then we will award that particular project and allocate those funds at that time. So it's the same exact money. It's just this project spread out, just like we did Frank Johnson, right? Frank Johnson may have had this field, but as you have a budget and that budget continues to shrink, you continue to add additional items there, or sometimes you have overrun. So this is the same thing that you would have with a recreation center.
And then at our July meetings, we did do an award for the auditorium to do some renovations with Sheridan and do some work through that.
Okay. I'll be happy to further explain to you offline if you need to. But this is going to be consistent on every single project we do. We allocate funds and we come back once we award that particular part of it, because you don't always do all the work at one time. Okay. We do have a motion and second. All those I'm sorry, you got another question? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. The final, purchase orders. Resolution of Macon-Bibb County Commission authorizing the issuance of a purchase order for computers and hardware equipment from Dell Marketing LP in the amount of $104,400. There you go. A lot of fours. Payable from the IT department budget, repairs and maintenance, computer hardware. This is just a normal process, about 25% per year. We replace our computers as needed. So this is just that part of the process for our IT department, and it's already in the budget that you approved. Okay. Questions concerning that item? I entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Stewart. Do you have a second? Second by Bailey and Brian over there. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. The final item on the agenda today is the appropriations and transfers. Item 7A is the ordinance of the Macon-Bibb County Commission to authorize the appropriation of up to $200,000 from the 2018 SPOS proceeds to fund upgrades at Frank Johnson Recreation Center. This time we entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Clark. We have a second by Commissioner Bailey. Okay. Any questions concerning this item? Okay. No questions. All right. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, nay. That motion carries. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no need to go into executive session today. This ends our commission meeting